Well, it's that time again. Let's walk in faith, talk about anime, and grow together. Welcome to Rev's Otaku Talk. Hey Otaku family, welcome back to Rev's Otaku Talk, where faith and fandom collide. I'm your host Rev, and joining me is my co-host Raver Mom.
What up?
Together we'll venture into a world of anime through the lens of Christian values. Whether you're a seasoned otaku or just starting your anime journey, this is the place where we blend our love for all things anime with a walk in Christ. Join us as we explore thought-provoking themes, inspiring stories, and tackle the deeper connections between our favorite shows and our faith. It's all about finding God's truth in the worlds we love. This is your Christ Walk with Otaku Talk. Let's get started. Today's episode, we will be entering the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Come with us as we follow Aang, Katara, and Sokka and learn what it means to put away childish things. So grab your boomerang and let's jump right in. Created by Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, Avatar: The Last Airbender is a legendary anime that aired on Nickelodeon from February 21st, 2005 to July 19th, 2008. Set in a world where people can control the elements, water, earth, fire, or air, through martial arts-inspired bending. The story follows Aang, a fun-loving but powerful airbender who also happens to be the long-lost Avatar, the one person capable of mastering all four elements and restoring balance to a war-torn world. After being frozen in an iceberg for a century, Aang awakens to find the Fire Nation has plunged the world into chaos, and it's up to him, with the help of his new friends Katara and Sokka, to stop it. From epic battles and breathtaking bending sequences to deep emotional arcs and unforgettable characters, Avatar: The Last Airbender delivers non-stop adventure with heart and soul. Along the way, Aang learns from masters like Toph, the fierce blind earthbender, and faces off against enemies turned allies like Zuko, the conflicted Fire Nation prince. With themes of destiny, identity, and redemption woven through its story, Avatar isn't just an anime, it's an experience. Bold, beautiful, and way ahead of its time. So, our daughter, Princess Pika, loves this anime.
She very much does.
We've heard it, and we've seen chunks of it throughout time, and I've seen the whole series. Just off of what you've seen or heard, what is your take on Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Don't come at me, but I think it's kind of a cute anime. Personally, I think it's cuter and more fun than watching Pokemon sometimes, just because of it, the action pack part of it. There's like cutesy stuff in it, love stuff, there's real stuff. Like, it's an all-around fun, I mean, I would say a fun family kind of thing, but I think it's cute. I mean, we found the little bitty figurines for the baby, and those were too stinking adorable. We wanted some.
Yeah, they stay in the studio for the baby to play with when I'm working.
Oh, so they've become one of your secret things now.
Yep, it's a secret thing now. So, who is your favorite character?
Probably Toph.
Toph?
Mm-hmm. I call
you
her
like
Toph.
Toph?
I do. I like Toph. Mainly because the fact that she is always mistaken as weak, but then she turns around and I think she's one of the strongest ones.
I love the fact that you call her Toph because of the one episode where they're in the Fire Nation and they're watching the play of their adventures, and she says, "My name is Toph. It rhymes with tough."
Yep.
And it's hilarious.
Yeah, she actually reminds me a lot of Princess Pika, just because she's small, but she's very mighty, and she doesn't, back down.
And here is a little excerpt into this thing. I'm surprised that she picked Toph, because the first convention that I took Raver Mom to, she did a cosplay. It was a ballroom cosplay where she did Katara.
Yep. I used to like Katara until the spinoff
Okay,
for Katara.
when they went into the Legend of Korra.
And I didn't really, I don't know. She kind of like came a jerk to me. I don't know. She wasn't as relatable in that.
It was almost like she took on the role as the leader of everything because of the fact that she took on the role of, I guess you could call it Team Avatar still, I guess, but it was the role of keeping the teachers together to teach the next Avatar, and whenever she got put in that leadership role, it went to her head.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's why it changed. I liked her a lot, but when they went more into her story and stuff, and I don't know how you want to put it, but like when all that happened, she became a different person, and so.
I would have to say my favorite character would be King Boomy, the Earth Kingdom King.
Oh, I thought you would say Uncle.
Uncle Iroh is right up there with them.
I thought Uncle Iroh was your favorite.
Between those two, you're probably right. I favor Uncle Iroh because I talk about Uncle Iroh
You do a lot, and you quote him a lot.
I do. Okay, so yeah, you're right. Uncle Iroh is like my number one. But my close number two is King Boomy, and I like them both for the same reason. I like them both because of the fact that they are wise, but they like to have fun. Mm-hmm. They can teach you the biggest lesson in the world. They can put you in your place, but then they can turn around and they could make it the funnest atmosphere in the world. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Uncle Iroh is like my second too.
My third favorite is the Cabbage Guy.
The Cabbage Guy?
My cabbages! Yeah,
oh my goodness.
The Cabbage Guy.
Mine would be Appa.
Appa, the flying bison?
Of course.
Yes.
He's adorable.
He's the furry playground.
Yes. Very comfy, and I totally would buy one if he was real.
We'd have a bison in the backyard.
Of course. Come on. Our bison and our 5 chickens.
That would be funny.
And poor Pixie. Anyways.
What we're going to be talking about today is in Avatar The Last Airbender, it has a lot of lessons that it can teach. Mm-hmm. But the one that I would like to focus on is within their journey, our heroes had to put away childish things. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11 says, "When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child, and I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways." Now, one thing that drives me nuts about this verse is how people constantly misuse it. Mm-hmm. And the majority of the time, it gets misused whenever something isn't going somebody else's way. I know that it has been said in my life, because I still collect toys.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Let me correct you. I collect action figures.
I collect toys. I watch cartoons. I watch anime. And I've had people come up to me and tell me that it was time for me to grow up and get rid of childish things. But growing up and getting rid of childish things does not mean that you got to stop having fun in life. Mm-hmm. Whenever it talks about getting rid of childish things, it talks about maturity. Mm-hmm. It talks about how you handle things and your ability to make the decisions that have to be made in life with that maturity. Mm-hmm. Now, is there any time in your life where you had to deal with that problem?
Yes, I grew up very early in life just because I had to. So I was told many times that I needed to grow up and stop being a child. But I was still a child when that happened. I was taking care of the house and doing things that, I mean, granted, I should know how to do, but at the same time, it was very difficult for me to still be a child because I was expected to be an adult. But anyways, so yeah, I was told that quite a lot, but because I was raised totally different.
I gotcha. Now, throughout Avatar The Last Airbender, we, of course, see areas where they all have to grow up. And the biggest areas where we can see them grow up is from beginning to end. Mm-hmm. You look at Aang, and your first impression of Aang, thank you. Your first impression of Aang is someone extremely young and very hyperactive and couldn't control himself. I mean, he was like 10, 11 years old whenever he came out of the iceberg. Yeah. He wasn't very old, and he was still very much a child. Mm-hmm. And the thing that made him run away to begin with was the fear of the responsibility of being the Avatar and the fact that he had to grow up so fast to save the world, pretty much. Yeah. And whenever we go to the end of the story, he makes the sacrifice. Right. He puts away those childish thoughts, and he does what he has to do in order to defeat the Fire Lord. Mm-hmm. But then whenever it was all over, he was still the same fun-loving guy. Mm-hmm. And we can see this a lot with the other characters. Mm-hmm. Now, you like Toph. Mm-hmm. In what ways would you say that Toph had to do the same thing?
Well, I think that I think that's also part of her personality, just because of the fact that she had to grow up and be tough because of her blindness. But at the same time, she used it to kind of play jokes and have fun at the same time. I'm sure, granted, obviously I'm not blind, but with having that kind of impairment, it's something you're gonna have to struggle with, but finding the joy and finding the silver lining of it, just like we should in everything, I think is where she wind up getting to in the end, where she could still have fun with it and play jokes on people and use her talent and her impairment to, be who she became. I mean, because I remember at one point she was like acting all cripple and whatnot, and then she beat the snot out of somebody.
Well,
and then laughed about it.
She was raised in a very wealthy household, but she'd sneak out and she would, go pretty much underground UFC fighting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she would whoop tail. Yeah. I think. I also think her earthbending skills it was a good fit for her as well, because you don't really need to see, so to speak. I mean, you don't need to see to be able to feel the earth. I mean, you can go outside now barefoot and feel the earth. You don't need to be able to see it. You can use your other senses and feel it and smell it and hear it. And she learned that. Yeah, she's pretty much the Japanese Daredevil.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
She's an awesome kicking butt kind of girl.
She found her maturity in overcoming her hardships. Mm-hmm. And I think, we talked about Uncle Iroh and King Boomy. Mm-hmm. And I think King Boomy had to be the most awesome example to me. King Boomy, in the flashbacks that Aang had of Boomy whenever he would go to the Earth Kingdom, was that they would play practical jokes. The city was their playground. They would use the chutes as a ride. It was their own theme park. Mm-hmm. And practical jokes was like the thing. And then whenever they go to the Earth Kingdom 100 years later, and they meet the king, and the king is he's strange, but he's hospitable. And then he wanted to see if the Avatar had what it took to free the world. So he challenges him to a fight. In the midst of that fight, he's talking a lot, which is annoying everybody. But what he was trying to do is teach Aang a lesson and how he had to grow up to fit the part that he was given in life. Yeah. All the while, in the midst of this fight, his incentive was, well, we put these rings on your friend, and those rings are now consuming their entire body. And if you want to save them, you got to defeat me. Whenever he's this hunchback looking dude. He takes off his robe, and this dude is jacked. We're talking 8-pack, strong as can be. And he starts...
That's all fake.
Well, guess what? He starts beating on Aang, but he's not hurting him. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's putting him in pain, but it's not an attack to kill him.
Right.
And every time he gets frustrated, I'm going to share a little bit of wisdom with you. And then at the end, whenever he finds, it's like a Rumpelstiltskin thing. I know your name. And he puts a stop to it. And then you see the fun side of King Boomy come out, because he's like, well, can you save my friends now? And he goes, oh, that's easy. This rock that's growing around your friends is rock candy. They can eat their way out.
Oh, my goodness.
It shows the mature side of everything.
Yeah.
But you can put away childish things and do what you're called to do in life without getting rid of the child within.
Yeah. I think what's crazy to me is when people take this particular verse out of context. They also forget that when Jesus was doing his ministry in those 3 years and the disciples were trying to take away the children, but he said, let them come unto me, that you have to become like a child. And people forget that verse. And it's not like being an immature person. It's basically, you've got to be innocent. You've got to be accepting and loving and caring and kind and forgiving like a child.
Yeah.
You've got to have the heart of a child. Not necessarily, again, not the maturity level of a child. Of course, we don't need to grow down and act like a butt whining, pitching a fit every time. But at the fact that children forgive. I mean, I see it all the time. Somebody is mean to their friend and it's like, I'm sorry. And then they're best friends again. They forgive. They don't, I have a class full of 3rd graders and they love each other. One minute they're not nice to each other, but the next minute they all want to play together, and it's like being forgiving like a child and loving like a child and being kind like a child. That's what we need to be like, not the immature mindset. And
that is extremely true. I mean, that's one thing that a lot of people forget. I mean, throughout Avatar: The Last Airbender, we've talked about some of it, but Team Avatar's journey mirrors the message of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. As each member is forced to confront their immaturities, their fears, and their limited worldviews, they grow into the roles that is demanded of them. Aang begins a carefree, fun-loving boy, reluctant to accept the weight of being the Avatar, but over time he learns to lead with both wisdom and passion. Katara matures from a hopeful yet naive waterbender into a strong, decisive protector and healer. Sokka evolves from the comic relief to a strategic warrior and leader, learning that strength isn't just physical. Even Toph, though she had a tough start, learns to trust and work with others. Their growth isn't just about mastering elements, it's about putting away the childish things and stepping into responsibility, purpose, sacrificial love, all for the greater good. And that, I believe, speaks to the Christian walk. Mm-hmm. Whenever we ask Jesus into our heart and we take on that role, we got to remember what the Great Commission is, which is like Matthew 28, verse 21. Go out into the world and make disciples. You are given a purpose automatically. Yep. And you're given a book with the teachings of Jesus in it. Not just something to shove in people's face, but what people have to remember is that the Bible isn't just a word to be spoken, it's a word to be acted upon. And a lot of the people who try to go out and all they want to do is force the Bible on you, and they do it in a forceful way, and they don't show the action of what they're trying to push on people, that's not going to be accepted. Yeah. But if they put what is given to us into action, it's going to be more acceptable. And that's the difference between maturing as a Christian and going into your responsibility and purpose and showing that true sacrificial love to a immature one who has a hard time doing it. And they're usually the ones that get frustrated or aggravated or very loud or hateful or resentful or unforgiving. And yes, what I am saying is, they still say that I am a Christian whenever they're doing all of this. But that's the difference between somebody who's put away the childish thing and the one who hasn't.
I also think that when you're going in that aspect of you're looking at the Christian walk, it's not just childish things, but it's also worldly things. And if you don't take the acceptance and the commitment of being a Christian, like, yes, I can say a prayer anytime, whenever, and accept Jesus into my heart, and I can say it in 10 minutes, and, the first time I didn't mean it, but the second time I did. It's not something, it's not like a, lay me down, now I lay me down to sleep, pray the Lord my soul to keep. It's not like that kind of prayer. It's like it's a vow. It is a lifelong commitment to be a completely different person devoted to God. And when you don't put away worldly things, you're going to act like a childish Christian. I mean, that's just, there's no way around it. When you put away acting of the world and being like the world and doing, and it can be whatever. It can be pitching a fit because somebody cut you off and you're wanting to curse them out, to getting drunk on Saturday night and acting a fool. Whatever you want to call it. But if you're going to act like the world, then you weren't committed. You didn't say the Lord's Prayer honestly and with a whole heart. You just did it because for whatever reason your friend did it, or you were pushed to do it, or whenever you do that, when you become a Christian, it is a 100% all in kind of commitment. It isn't I'm only going to act like this on Sunday when everybody can see me, but the rest of the days, I'm going to be a child.
Yeah.
Of the world. You are either a child of God or you're a child of the world.
Yeah. And that's not, and
I'm not saying like we're perfect. We're always gonna, we're gonna mess up because we're human. And there's sin in the world, and we're always gonna mess up, but that's where we ask for forgiveness and we try to do better. But there are people who will say the Lord's Prayer and then be like, whatever. And they don't take it seriously. I'm not talking about the ones that take it seriously. Just for clarification.
Yeah, whenever you say the sinner's prayer and you accept Jesus into your heart.
I'm calling it the Lord's Prayer. That's a totally different thing.
It's all good. What people, and it's, for some people it is an automatic thing. For other people it is a process.
Right. I'm not dismissing that either.
Yeah. I'm just like my grandmother.
Yes.
Love her to death. And whenever she finally truly accepted Jesus in her heart, she still smoked like crazy. Mm-hmm. And she still spoke a certain way. And but she was very quick to ask for forgiveness whenever she spoke in that manner.
Yeah.
And
that speaks of her heart.
And toward the end of her life, she challenged God. She had to, she was going to have a surgery because her arteries are all blocked up and on the verge of a heart attack type deal. And she says, God, if you clean everything out, I'll stop smoking. And she went back into the doctor for the procedure. They went and they did their look around before they did the procedure, and she was 100% clean.
I remember that.
And whenever she went home, she looks over at my mom and she goes, I'm not strong enough. You need to go in my room and get rid of everything that has to do with smoking.
Yeah.
And my mom went in there and they threw it away, and she took it off the property to throw it away. So, and this isn't dismissing what you said, because what you said is completely true. And where I'm trying to build off of you is that change doesn't always happen automatically. But it's the heart to change that has to be there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, It all boils down to what's in your heart. And it's, like you said, it's not going to be an automatic thing. I mean, I still feel like I'm changing and I'm correcting myself and I'm fixing things and trying to put away the child of the world things and maturing and stuff like that. I don't think we're going to be 100% changed until, our soul goes into heaven. But again, going back to that verse is one of the ones that's always taken out of context because they don't look at the whole aspect. And I mean, you also not just the whole chapter or the whole book, but the whole Bible, because verses connect to one another and they back one another up. And if you don't take other verses to back that up, I mean, you could be, you're going to be, of course you're going to take it out of context.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, now that we're in the time that we're living in and people's focusing on the end of the world, with the Pope passing away and that whole Pope,
the
Pope prediction stuff. And
yeah.
People are starting to quote Revelation a lot, but then you've got other people who are quoting like the book of Daniel, and they're tying the strings together from Daniel to Revelation. So.
Well, I mean, there's lots of Old Testament that backs and connects to Revelation, and I mean, there was predictions of Jesus coming all throughout the Old Testament. Of course, there's going to be predictions of the end times or whatever you want to call it, the coming of Jesus or, the Antichrist coming. And it's to me, I think it's kind of funny that people are just now making these connections when they've been there for hundreds of years. It's like, why haven't you been studying? I mean, granted, I haven't read the whole Bible, but I mean, if you are a philosopher or a theologian or anything, and you're just now making these connections, to me, that's kind of weird. But
I mean, there's a difference between someone who obsesses over Revelation out of fear and someone who studies it and tries to understand what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we've met people on both sides.
Yes, very much so.
And we've also seen people take the childish way out.
Yeah.
And they still do. I mean, what can you do?
Pray.
So, any last thoughts? Any final thoughts?
No.
No? Okay. What's going to happen now, because it has been a long time in the making and in the waiting, we are going to announce the overall winner of the Anime World Mashup.
Our stories?
Yes, we have a definitive winner.
Seriously?
Yes.
Who?
I don't know if I want to tell you.
Listen, if it's not me, I'm not going to be upset.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because you beat us at everything else.
And I have been shocked beyond belief that I've beat you at everything else. No, I haven't beat you. I beat K2.
No, I think you have now officially beat me. Congratulations.
Did I win?
You won.
I won. You're kidding.
No, Raver Mom's love triangle of fairy tale in One Piece has won the Anime World Mashup.
Goodness. Thank you. Oh, wow.
So, congratulations.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I thought K2's was pretty good.
K2's was pretty good, but, the whole idea of finding Dragon Balls in Vegeta's underwear drawer and Bulma walking in wasn't enough. Of course, Bulma was off-world and in another universe driving a messed-up car that had you disappeared her transmission and replaced it with a broken automatic one.
Aww.
Poor Bulma.
Oh my goodness. She was trying to get to Vegeta. She got stuck. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that I won.
Yes,
oh my
you
gosh.
won. You
now
have
I need
won.
to make that into a story or something.
Yes, start writing fan fiction. Go for it.
Oh, well, thank you for everyone who voted for me. Jeez.
Yes, and these were votes. These were not asking the otaku kids for the decision or anything else. No, these were actual votes, either verbal from people we've talked, that we can talk to, or voted on through Spotify, or these were actual votes.
Aww.
So you actually won.
Aw, thank you, everyone. That's awesome. I love you all.
And her winning streak continues.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
What did I win?
High five.
An air high five. Like our participation trophy.
Well, unfortunately, I do not have prizes yet. But
okay.
I had the opportunity to talk to K2 a couple of weeks ago whenever you were not here.
Mm-hmm.
During Anime Day, I wanted to get you guys a gift, and it is, half of the gift is here. The other half does not. One half is you have a JDM Sanji keychain because you like Sanji.
I do. He's
and
very handsome.
The second half is not in yet, but I designed one-of-a-kind license plate frames for your car that is based off your character and has your character name on it along with the podcast. So whenever you drive around, Raver Mom is on the back of your car in a 100% original custom design, and it has the podcast name on it.
That's awesome. That works out because I need a new one.
So
my poor Bulbasaur.
you and K2 both are getting one, and I made myself one for Anime Day.
Of course you did.
So yeah, you're going to get that as well, but that is not for the World Mashup. I mean, hey, I can give you a sticker. You want a sticker? There's a whole thing of stickers right there. Pick a sticker.
I think I've taken enough of stickers.
You have taken a lot of my stickers.
But then again, you took a lot of mine. So.
Yes, and then they got destroyed.
Oh, you'll be all right.
Okay.
Moving on.
So we have not done this in a while.
What? Oh.
We are going to do questions from a cup.
Ooh.
Yes, we have not done questions in a cup in over a month.
Mm.
So, you want to pick one?
Okay, I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
Oh. I have two questions.
Okay, what's the first question?
This one's kind of funny. When you eat pudding or applesauce, do you chew it?
No.
I know that's random.
It's already a puree. It's like it's been pre-chewed to begin with. Why in the world are you going to chew pudding? That's like chewing water.
I don't know.
And we're not talking about frozen water. We're talking about room temperature water. Do you chew your water?
You're going on a tangent.
Do you chew your Baja Blast at Taco Bell? Do you chew your Dr. Pepper because you think it's medicine? If you chew pudding and applesauce, there is a problem. The only people in the world who should chew pudding and applesauce are babies, and that's because they're learning how to chew. And that's all I gotta say about that.
Okay.
Next question.
Alrighty, here we go. I'm sorry. That was an awesome tangent. Okay, these are some who would win in a fight scenarios.
Okay.
Goku versus Luffy.
I've been looking at that battle on my wall, and I still don't know who wins.
He is talking about a picture that was drawn for him, and it is Goku versus Luffy. Somebody drew it for him a few years ago. And it's actually a pretty cool picture. But it was hand-drawn by a customer at...
It was a coworker.
A coworker at Office Depot when you worked there.
Yes. He was wanting to get into drawing fan anime art and stuff to sell at conventions and everything. So I commissioned him to draw me this picture. which he did it pro bono, but what's really cool is he did it on a white background so that I can put it into a computer and make my own background for it. And I haven't done it. But I've always contemplated who would win that battle. And to be flat honest with you, with as more and more and more powerful as both of them get, I still cannot pin one against the other. Because you got Goku with his God form, the God Saiyan.
Yeah.
But then you got Luffy, who has his Gear 5, or his Joy Boy, which is his God form, so to speak. So
I think it'd be a tie.
I think they'd beat the living crud out of each other, but I don't think either of them would actually fall.
I would agree with you just because of the fact that they're both very stubborn and will not give up in their fight. And they're both pretty level.
I think how it would end is they would beat the snot out of each other till they couldn't lift their heads up anymore, and then they would eat a whole bunch of meat together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next set, Urza and Tsubaki.
Ooh. Urza.
Yeah?
Urza would win. Tsubaki, she is very strong whenever she's in that spirit realm type deal.
In the sword.
But outside of it, she's kind of worthless without her Meister.
Okay. Well, it doesn't add her Meister in this.
Yeah. I mean, if it was in a spirit realm, Tsubaki would totally win.
Okay.
But it's, if you're going to pin them two together, it's not going to be in the spirit realm.
All right. Usagi versus Lucy. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usagi is Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm. Make sure I said it right.
Versus Lucy?
Mm-hmm.
Lucy.
Yeah?
Lucy's got way more attitude.
I agree. I think Lucy would.
And all she has to do is pull out Loki, and then Usagi is going to be all love-struck and nervous and junk. Yep. Then he's going to beat the pants off of her.
Yep. All right, last set.
Okay.
Natsu versus Vegeta.
Vegeta.
Really?
Vegeta.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because of the fact that Vegeta has more stamina than Natsu.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
By a long shot.
Okay.
Because Vegeta and Goku, they spar all the time, and they have for years. And they will spar and fight for days at a time. Oh, You're not going to see Natsu doing that job.
No, he doesn't.
Give it a couple of hours, that dude's drained out of magical power. He then does his last ditch effort with the dragon power.
Yeah.
And then he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
cool.
Yeah, Vegeta win.
All right, that was it.
All right. And looking at the time, I'm going to do one more question.
One more question?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry, some of them were stuck. Oh. Who do you relate to the most from the Bible?
Wow. That is tough. That is actually very hard.
Gotta think about it.
Yeah. I mean, how would you answer that question?
I don't know. Just because of the fact that, like, there's a lot that we've never gone through that, I don't know.
I mean, seriously, where in the world is that an easy question? I mean, you can talk about who influences you the most and who's your hero and who would make the best anime. And I mean, there's so many things, but then who do you most relate to? I guess
I could answer it.
What?
I guess I could say, I mean, obviously, like, not pre-Christian, so pre-giving my heart to God and making, and doing His will and stuff like that, would not be the same, of course, because we don't live in the same time frame, in the same world and all of that. But I would probably say Paul.
Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that would make sense for most people, at the fact that we all started out in a world of sin, and we've done pretty much everybody that I've ever met feels like they've done something they're not worthy of being forgiven of.
Right.
But they find forgiveness in Jesus, and they
turn.
So, I mean, I guess that would be the one that makes the most sense, even for me, because I can't put myself on that level with anybody. I mean,
sure, you don't want to do anybody from the Old Testament?
What, Daniel?
Fighting them lions. Or David fighting Goliath.
Yeah, I've felt that way before.
I kind of honestly think that there are different points of our lives where we can relate to different people.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the Bible, why we have the Bible, and why it's such an amazing thing for us, because we can relate. Obviously, not the same scenarios.
Yeah.
You're not going to fight a giant or fight lions or a bear or a, or anything like that. But like coming up against hardships, we have people that we can relate to. I mean, David was a young teen.
Yeah.
He was in his teenage years, not able to go to war, and he fought a giant, and so even like somebody that is a young teen going through a battle of some sort, whatever they're facing, some kind of hardship, has somebody to relate to.
Well, it's kind of sad because of the fact that with everything we've gone through in the past couple of years and where this ministry started, I relate more to a female character.
Really? Who?
Esther. Like I feel like I relate more to her because of the fact that she lived in a place where her people were being persecuted, but then she was put into a place where she could help them.
Yeah.
And being someone who carries the title Otaku, and carries that with pride, and not being afraid to show it, in a world where it's not accepted.
Right. And to be a Christian along with it.
And to do that, and to be able to sit here and do this with you and K2 and stand up for them, and to not just share anime with the church, but to share, Jesus to the anime community. At that point, I relate most to Esther.
I could see that. Honestly, I mean, Esther came to mind because of that. But I guess it would be more for you than me, just because, I mean, not to downplay myself, but you have a very big passion when it comes to this whole thing. And it's been like that for years, so I could see that.
Whenever it all started, me and you were in the same spot. It wasn't really with the same thing, but in the same spot, because you were standing up for students.
Yeah.
That liked anime and stuff like that, and you had to keep it hush-hush.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you...
Funny enough, I had to keep it hush-hush so I wouldn't lose my job, and I still lost my job because of it.
Yeah, but that was more because of me than it was because of what you were doing.
It is just ironic, that's all.
Yes, long story.
That
we are not going to tell it here.
Get into.
That might be one of those things that we talk about on the Patreon account, but not on the primary. So, all right. Any last thoughts on that?
No, I'm gonna go chew some pudding.
You're gonna go chew some pudding. I'm not sure we have pudding made right now, but we got applesauce. Have at it. It's a little bit more chunky. You might have that want to chew.
I have another question for you.
Okay.
You like Reese's Cups?
Yes.
Okay. How do you eat them?
Well, I don't take the middle out first. I eat it. in probably 2 bites.
Listen.
Chomp, chomp.
No, I saw somebody the other day. Not the other day. It was on a commercial. And they had somebody eat the edges first, to where the middle was still there. And then they ate the middle. And my thought was, wow, that person's got a lot more self-control than I ever would.
I just eat them.
Reese's would
2
be
bites.
gold.
If you like the middle of the Reese's the most, then whenever Easter comes up or Halloween or Valentine's Day or Christmas, get the really big ones like the eggs and the trees and junk, because that's pretty much all middle.
It's actually different peanut butter, though. The mix.
They taste better.
I know. Listen, though. The regular Reese's cups versus the specialty like holiday cups versus their like big hearts or big pumpkins or like the big ones.
Yeah.
It's all a different consistency.
Really? I'm mostly a fast break guy.
I know you are.
Yeah. Gotta have a little bit of nougat on there. Yep. So yes, I am not the weirdo with the beardo that eats the middle and tries to get away from the outside.
Listen, they got a lot more self-control than I do around chocolate and peanut butter.
Yeah, no, you just eat that junk.
That's right. It's like Kit Kat. See, Kit Kat, I'm a little weird though. When it comes to Kit Kat, I have to eat one at a time. I can't just like take a bite of like the whole thing.
I eat it like a candy bar. I just take the wrapper off and then put the wrapper in my finger. The wrapper still holds it, and I just bite the joker.
No, see that's crazy to me.
Yeah, well, I'm not sharing it with somebody, so I just break it off bite by bite by bite by bite until it's gone.
You're so mean.
I'm not mean.
You don't share it with me.
Yeah, I do. That's when I break the piece off. Jeez.
Send me Kit Kats. Nobody shares. I'm kidding.
Hey, we are getting to a point to where I'm just about to bust out the Japanese crate, the snack crate.
I know.
So we can try those Kit Kats that are in there. We got some imported Japanese Kit Kats in there. I want to try that.
Yes.
So we are going to have to do a food episode coming up soon.
I hope so.
Yes.
Or those Kit Kats are going to disappear.
No, they're not. Join us as we close in prayer. Father God, I thank you for the many lessons that we can learn from your word and from the word that we hide in our hearts. God, I thank you for showing us the difference between getting rid of childish things and throwing the heart of a child away. And as we wrap up today's episode, let us remember that you are with us in every story, whether animated or real. And I pray that you, Father God, will help us to see you in everything that we do and watch. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, thanks for tuning into Rev's Otaku Talk. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your chosen platform and like and follow us on our Facebook page, Rev's Otaku Talkers, and X, username at Rev's Otaku Talk. And also follow us on Waku Waku, username Reverend Otaku 9000. Please leave a comment, review, and share your favorite anime moments with us. Also, don't forget to check out our Rev's Otaku shop and go in there and don some merch and grab a bag of Rev's Konko He coffee. The link is down in the description. Until next time, I hope you keep your anime collection strong and your faith stronger. See you later, guys.
Bye!
You testing your mic now? Making your bubble sounds? And it's good.
I'm back!